Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Dana's World. Today we have an amazing and thrilling story about Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, aka Abraham. Did you know that he was once thrown into a huge fire? But something incredible happened. Before we get to the exciting part, let's start from the beginning and find out why Ibrahim alayhi salam was so special and brave. So get comfy and let's dive into the story. As Ibrahim alayhi salam grew up, he noticed something strange around him. People, including his own father, were making idols by their hands and worshipping them. These idols were placed in temples and even in homes where people offered food and gifts, praying for help and protection. Ibrahim alayhi salam was brilliant and curious. He couldn't believe that people were praying to statues that couldn't see, hear, or even speak. So he started asking them. He would say, "How can these idols help you when they can't hear your prayers? They can't see you, they can't move you, and they can't protect you. Why do you worship them?" One day, Ibrahim alayhi salam went to his father, who was an idol maker. He asked, "Father, why do you make these idols that people worship? They can't do anything. They can't hear us, see us, or help us in any way possible." His father and the people were not happy with these questions. They strongly believed in the idols and didn't want anyone, especially a young boy like Ibrahim alayhi salam, to challenge their beliefs. Also, abandoning the idols would mean losing money because the rich merchants would make so much money selling them. They tried to silence him, telling him to stop questioning and just follow what everyone else did. But Ibrahim alayhi salam was determined and was not afraid to speak the truth, even if it meant standing alone. He saw how people placed their hopes and dreams on these statues, expecting miracles that never happened. He wanted to help his people understand that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one true God, has the power to help and protect them. To show his people the truth, Ibrahim alayhi salam used a very smart analogy to make his people think about their beliefs. He was a genius, and this was just one of the many ways he showed his wisdom. One night, Ibrahim alayhi salam looked up at the sky and saw a bright, shining star. He said to his people, "Could this be my Lord?" But when the star set and disappeared, he said it couldn't. Then he saw the moon glowing brightly in the night sky. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, "This could be my Lord. This is bigger." But when the moon also set and disappeared, he realized it couldn't be. Finally, he saw the sun rising, shining brightly and giving the whole world light. Ibrahim alayhi salam said to them, "This must be my Lord. It's the biggest and the brightest." But when the sun set, he said, "I do not love things that disappear. My Lord is the creator of the heavens and the earth, the one who made the stars, the moon, and the sun. He must always be there. He will not come and go." He wanted his people to think about the stars, moon, and sun, which they sometimes worship, couldn't be God, because they all have a limited and and special tasks they do, and then they disappear. And God can't be limited like that.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. صدق الله العظيم.
One day, during a big festival, when everyone was out celebrating, Ibrahim alayhi salam saw his chance to show his people the truth about their idol. He waited until the town was empty and silent. The air was filled with the distant sounds of music and laughter from the festival. But the temple where the idols were kept was still and quiet. Ibrahim alayhi salam walked into the temple, his heart filled with determination. Inside, he saw rows of idols, each one carefully crafted and decorated. These idols were made of wood and stone, but they were adorned with gold and jewels, making them look impressive and powerful. He decided it was time to make a bold statement. With a strong sense of purpose, Ibrahim alayhi salam picked up an axe. He started smashing the smaller idols one by one. The sound of the idols breaking echoed through the empty temple. Pieces of wood and stone scattered across the floor. He left the largest idol untouched, standing tall among the broken pieces. Then Ibrahim alayhi salam did something very clever. He placed the axe in the hands of the biggest idol. He wanted to make his people think about the powerlessness of these idols. How could a statue that couldn't defend itself be a god? When the people returned from the festival, they were shocked and furious to see their idols destroyed. They gathered around the temple, crying out in anger and confusion. Who has done this to our gods? They demanded. Someone remembered that Ibrahim alayhi salam had been speaking against the idol. They brought him to the temple and questioned him. Ibrahim, did you do this to our gods? They asked. Ibrahim alayhi salam calmly replied, it was the biggest idol who did it. Ask them if they can speak. The people were baffled. They knew that idols couldn't speak or do anything. Ibrahim alayhi salam's words made them think, even if just for a moment, about the foolishness of worshipping lifeless statues. But instead of accepting the truth, they were blinded by their anger and pride. They decided to punish Ibrahim alayhi salam for his actions. Little did they know that they were about to witness an even greater miracle that would show them the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they decided to throw Ibrahim alayhi salam into a huge fire. They built a massive bonfire, and the flames roared and crackled, reaching high into the sky. The heat was intense, and the people gathered around, eager to see what would happen. They tied Ibrahim alayhi salam up tightly, thinking he would be helpless. But Ibrahim alayhi salam remained calm because he trusted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely. As they were about to throw him into the fire, he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. With unwavering faith, he knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would protect him. When they threw him into the fire, something truly amazing happened. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the fire, "O fire, be cool and saved upon Ibrahim alayhi salam. Instead of burning, the flames became cool and gentle for Ibrahim alayhi salam. He stood in the middle of the fire completely unharmed, as if he were in a peaceful garden. The people watching were stunned. They couldn't believe their eyes. How could Ibrahim alayhi salam survive such a raging fire? This was a great miracle that showed everyone the power of Allah's power. But even after witnessing this incredible miracle, not everyone believed him. Still, some people, including the king, refused to accept the message of Ibrahim alayhi salam. They were stubborn and proud, unwilling to change their ways or admit that they were wrong. However, there were also those whose hearts were touched by the miracle. Slowly, a few started to believe in Allah, the one true God, and abandoned the worship of idols. Ibrahim alayhi salam continued to spread the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with renewed strength and determination. He traveled to different places, always standing firm in his faith and teaching people about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Despite the challenges and the opposition he faced, Ibrahim alayhi salam never gave up. His courage and unwavering faith inspired many, and his story continues to inspire us till this day. And that, my friends, is the end of episode 1. We've seen how brave and wise Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam was, always questioning what didn't seem right and standing up for the truth, even when it was really hard. And don't forget to stay tuned for more adventures and lessons from his amazing life. In the next episode, we'll continue the story of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and find out what happened next in his amazing journey. Thanks for watching Dana's World, and see you next time on Dana's World. Salam!
Introduction.
Here? Here?
Good with your friends, just a teeny tiny, yeah.
Hey friends, welcome! My...
Take it from because then you're going to be out of the camera.
I keep on forgetting.
Scene 1, Part 2.
He would say, how can these idols help you when they can't even hear you and your prayers?
Continue so it can be practiced.
No,
Continue.
that messed up.
Scene 2, Part 3.
My Lord is the creator of the heavens and the earth, the one who made the stars, the moon, and the sun. Good, I did that. Where? Oh.
5.
But even after witnessing this incredible miracle, not everyone believed him. Still, some people, including the king, Ken.
Scene 5, Part 2.
aka the last 4 conclusion. I'm tired. I'm not going to be able to go to sleep. Ibrahim alayhi Okay.
Scene 5, Part 2.
Ibrahim alayhi salam continued to spread.
Scene 5, Part 2.
Ibrahim alayhi salam continued to spread the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with renewed strength and determination. He traveled to different places, always standing firm in his faith and teaching people about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, despite the challenges and the opposition
position.
position.
شفتي لازم تقرأتيها.